we are going to go through the 3 phases of lead magnet creation. And I'm actually streaming this for the Action Takers Elite Club training, but we're in the middle of a building blitz with our impact makers and our PCAT U90 students. So they're actually on Zoom. You guys can't see them. And they're going to be building lead magnets today. So during this training, I'm going to take you guys through what everybody should have access to when it comes to lead magnets. And your goal, if you're in the higher level programs with us, we're doing it right now. If you're not, is before next week to have a lead magnet created, but to understand exactly how these play a part in your business. So I am going to screen share, and those of you on the Zoom, I'll screen share with you guys in just a second. I want to take everybody to the Boards app, and I want to make sure you know at least where some written resources are. We have done lead magnets already inside of the club, and so there is also a workbook that is more detailed from past training. But we always find that if this stuff is not done, then you need to hear it again. Either hear it again for the sake of now go do it, or hear it again for the sake of maybe you're lacking some clarity. So under Action Takers Elite Club, everybody has access to this. That is inside of Impact, that is inside of the 90-day program, that's inside of the club. And so inside of here, we have different sections, and one of them is a lead magnet key. And when you open up the lead magnet key, this is different than the workbook that's on it. The workbook is based on a past video I did. The video was based on some of the training that I pulled, and I put it into initially this lead magnet key right here. So we're going to be covering some of this, but in case you need to go back and review, what is a lead magnet? We're going to talk about that. Do you need one? The answer is yes. How to create one? It's very simple. We're going to give you a 3-step process today. Tips on how to make it irresistible. So Anne, you're in the background right now, and one of your key points was, well, I don't want to do something that everyone else is doing, right? And so the lead magnet checklist might be something we can look through to evaluate, even if it's the same type of content. What's your hook? How does it stand apart? What's inside that's different, right? Some example lead magnets, and more importantly, after we get this thing created, what do you do with it? And this is going to be super, super key, because as we're talking about lead magnets, I have already been talking to some of the girls, and Anne has, she's talking about doing a guide, question mark. Cynthia has one for anti-aging. She has one for 5 amazing side hustles. Jean has one that's a 6-page guide for health. Anna's talking about doing one for her party pack. You guys might already have the lead magnet created, but if you're not getting it out there, it's not doing anything. So we're also going to talk about how do you actually get it out, and that's where these next keys come in. How do you move someone from just checking things out to like opting in and getting your lead magnet? How do you create a landing page or an opt-in? Now, at the time of this key created, we did not have our new CRM. So I think I teach you how to make an opt-in landing page through Aweber, which is totally an option. But if you have our CRM, I actually want you to use our software to do it, because you just want to keep everything all in one, right? So first, let's start with the first phase of making a lead magnet. It is simple research. Okay, so if you say, what is a lead magnet? A lead magnet is essentially something that has perceived value to your perfect prospect that you're going to offer them to grab your lead magnet, and in exchange, right, in exchange, they opt in to your funnel. Now, your funnel could be they opt in to your email list, right, through an opt-in page. Your funnel could be, and I'm going to recommend everybody have an opt-in page, but your funnel could be they opt into your Facebook group to receive the lead magnet. So if you want this thing I'm offering, you've got to come into the group, okay? We're recommending that everybody here actually has an opt-in page, like a website form, and we'll teach you how to do that, that actually people have to complete the form, they opt in, then you can still invite them to the group. But we're really trying to level up marketing. Examples of lead magnets, a lot of you are doing guides, you're already a few steps ahead. You could do, and this is just something to think about, trial subscriptions can be a lead magnet. Now, how could this play in? Amy Shahanlari has, her company has trial packs to the products, right? So maybe you're doing samplers or trial packs. If you have a digital product, right, the trial, the 30-day trial could be an opt-in, right? Samples are a big one that a lot of network marketers use. Free consultations. Have you guys ever thought about a strategy session, a Facebook audit, a health evaluation, a free consult, a makeup, let's get on Zoom and I'll pick your colors, or not even on Zoom, but just send me your picture of your face and I'll recommend some things that you can do for your goals as a lead magnet. Have you ever thought about a consult as a lead magnet? You could do that. How-to guides are a big one. Reports, guides, and tip sheets are big ones. Ebooks. Ebooks, let's come back to that in a second, and then newsletters. Okay, ebooks are probably more popular than newsletters, and anybody can write an ebook. We've talked about this a little bit in Impact, I believe. You guys have probably done a lot of videos, and you could transcribe a video and make it into an ebook pretty easily. And it sounds so much better if you're like, who wants my ebook that I just put together on blah, 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 instead of who wants to subscribe to my newsletter, right? It's just a way of delivering information. Ultimately, lead magnets are used to create sales, but not initially. So the thing we got to remember is we ultimately want to know, what do we want to sell? And we want to make sure that what we sell connects to the lead magnet. So we're going to do some research. That's going to be step one, and then I'll come back. And then step two, we're going to learn how to create the lead magnet. And then step three, or phase three, will be to automate the lead magnet. So these are resources you might come back to. I'm going to stop the screen share because I just want to talk to your faces now. So I want you first to research, and I want you to research in a super smart way, okay? I want you to, I think I was showing the wrong page on Action Takers. I didn't change the window. Go to the boards app. I want you guys to research not just what might your audience want, but I want you to research maybe people who might already be doing something like you're thinking about doing. Example, in coaching, okay, there is, I think Tanya Eliza was one of the first ones to offer like a cheat sheet to the videos she did. So she might go on live and say, here's how you learn how to blah, blah, blah. By the way, if you want today's show notes, or if you want today's cheat sheet or whatever, go to her website, and it might be blah, blah, blah / episode 213. When you go over there, she does not give you the lead magnet or the info. You have to opt in. She's like, great, you want the notes from today? Put your name and email here. You opt in and exchange your information for her content. Does that make sense? So you could be putting together just from a video you do already. So if you want the top 3 things I shared today on the 3 steps to creating a lead magnet, type steps in the comments below and I'll get it to you. So maybe they watch the video for free, and then you have a freebie that you can offer. Does that make sense? So if there's already someone in the space that you're in using something like that in a smart way, it's not reinvent the wheel, right? So if I can see other marketers doing a lot of this, that was one of mine. Another one for network marketing is I started watching people kind of apply this premise over on their social media. And example, if you do have cleaning products, or you have healthy nutrition products, instead of giving away the information that we're notorious for giving away, right? We go online, we tell them exactly how to do the recipe. We go online, we tell them exactly the products to use and what we sell. We keep some curiosity. And so what some people might do is they might go online, like Cynthia might go online and just do her makeup, chatting with her friends. I might go online making a protein shake, and then I might say, oh, by the way, if you want today's recipe, if you want the recipe for the 4 ingredients I use to make these no-bake protein bars, type recipe in the comments below. That's a lead magnet. Or it's up in my bio section and you can grab the recipe. We usually, what do? We just give them the recipe. So the recipe's in the comments, right? Or here's the recipe. That's not attracting them in a way they have to opt in. So you want to look at what's working, first of all, if you've already seen something. Next, if you're like, I don't know what's going to work, go research your audience. And there's a couple ways to do it. You can research simply by asking your audience. And remember, we've talked before about sell first, create later, right? So what I'm saying is, before you think you know what your audience wants, before you go create an intermittent fasting guide or a green gut glow guide or the top 5 benefits to turmeric and how it helps with inflammation. Before you go create the lead magnet, go see if people care, right? So one of the first posts, and if you're Impact Makers Phase 2, you'll see me go through this whole process. But when I made my intermittent fasting guide, y'all hear the story often, I did not make my intermittent fasting guide. And just to Anne's point, everybody, they can go Google how to do intermittent fasting. They don't need my guide, right? Why would I make a guide on intermittent fasting? It's going to be my spin on it. It's going to speak to my people, but it's a lead magnet into my invite. So here's how I did it. I first started priming the audience, warming the audience up to even see if they cared about the topic that I was considering writing a lead magnet on, right? Or an ebook on, or putting a sampler package together for, or a one-on-one consult for. And I just researched them. And when my audience was health and wellness with a new company, and intermittent fasting was a key part of our 5 key program, I knew that that would tie in ultimately to selling the program. So I could connect the dots to the sale. So I just researched, and I did not say who wants a guide. First, I just said, who has heard of intermittent fasting? Okay, now you know if your audience is even an audience that cares about this topic, or if they're interested in this topic. Okay, so then what they started doing is they'd either say, yes, I know it, I love to do it, I've been doing it for 20 years, or probably 5. I don't know that anybody's been doing it for 20 years. Some people would say, no, I'm curious about it, I'm not sure what it is. So I was just finding, is this a trending hot topic? Before I go out there and say, yay guys, I put together a guide on this, do they care, right? So Anna, she's looking at the party pack, looking at the gift wrap in a snap, looking at different features of her lead magnet that can ultimately tie to the sale. And I don't know which one's going to capture the most people. So go research, right? Who out there, wraps your own presents? If I taught you how to do the Tiffany's bow, who's interested? So my next step was just start the conversation around the topic. What do you guys use to clean your house? What's your least favorite part of cleaning the house? I just opened up something that would get them talking that was like the least barrier to entry. Then a day later, 2 days later, I said, not I did, because I had not done it yet. If I put together an intermittent fasting guide, who would want it? If I put together, a guide for 3 greens that bring you healthy skin, who would want it? So each of these 2 posts already are showing me prospects for the thing I'm going to put together, right? So get these people talking, ask them if they want the guide. Mine right now, you guys saw me do it a few days ago. I started teaching network marketers how to do coaching and courses. I did not first say, I got a program, who wants it? That will not capture as many people, right? I'm like, who's been thinking about this? Who wants this information? If I put together a free 1-hour class, who wants it? You keep building it. Now, if there's enough interest, now go create the lead magnet. If that one's like, it's okay. What else can you do? Right? Energy drinks, that's one of the things we sell. I'm like, okay, who out there? I did not say who wants an energy guide. I said, who out there is drinking energy drinks? That's how I started that conversation. I'm just looking for people that need help with more energy, right? And then I'm going to spin it with, oh, I have a drink and it's not like harmful like the canned drinks. Like I can't go there yet. That's the sale. So do your research. A couple other places besides your own audience is go to Quora, Quora, and you can just see, you can type in a topic, and this is where people ask questions. Okay, so you'll see the kind of things they're searching and looking for on Quora. You can also go to Answer the Public, answerthepublic.com. There's a couple more for those of you in Impact in Phase 2, other websites I gave you guys. Answerthepublic.com, and all you do is type in a word, and it's so magical. You literally will just type in intermittent fasting or gut health or chocolate or natural cleaning. And what it will show you is what people in the real world are typing in to the search bar right now because they want to know that thing. So if it shows that one of the more common questions with gut health, and this is true, people are researching, is gut health tied to brain health? Because that's like the whole gut brain axis thing. Okay, that's probably the direction you can go, right? Over gut health to make your skin pretty. Or you might see, oh, that's more what they're searching, right? And if you could say, if I could improve your brain, if I could improve your productivity with one simple drink a day, who would want to know what it is, right? You start just playing. So once you've kind of found, okay, this is trending, I think I'm going to go create a lead magnet. Now go create the thing. So one, do your research, research your current audience, research what other people are doing. Let's be smart. Let's be smart business owners. Research what your audience wants and sell first. That means find their interest first, then go create the lead magnet. Step 2 will be to create. Now, I will give you guys one other tip. Even though you may not be selling digital products, right? You're selling network marketing, physical products, you do have a business opportunity, right? And with your business opportunity, I don't want you guys to forget that's basically a whole lot of free business training and a whole lot of personal development and a community for their $49 or whatever it is. We forget the value of what happens when we bring reps in, right? And so you could make lead magnets for that, right? You could make lead magnets for your opportunity, like Cynthia did. 5, and I don't know what she called it, but 5 amazing side hustles or 5 ways to bring in extra income from home. Only one of them is going to be network marketing. Here's why I chose it. You can also say, oh, you can babysit kids. You can, sell stuff on eBay. You can rake people's lawns. So you can tie in the business too. However you go about it, I want you to pay attention, and you will start seeing these pop up all over the place, and you probably haven't noticed, to when other people are offering lead magnets and you're opting in, you're responding, they're doing their research. And when you do opt in, if it's literally where you have to type a name and an email, right? Opt in to get pay attention to what happens next. Because after you get people to opt in, you've got to keep moving them forward. And some of this I learned simply by watching what other people were doing to me. Does that make sense? I'm like, oh, that's how they did that. They captured my interest. Then they kept talking to me about I know you need help with gut health. I'm like, how do you know that? Oh yeah, I've opted into a gut health guide, right? So step number 2 is then go create. When you guys create, you can simply go to Canva. You can go to Canva. You can type in the word lead magnet. In fact, before you go do the research for the content of the lead magnet, it might already be there on Canva. Just saying. It might already be there on Canva. Or if not, I'm going to show you now. This will be updated training from those of you who were in the last one. Now in Canva, if you are like, okay, I've narrowed in, my audience wants to know about whatever with health, but I'm not sure what the guide should say. If you're at that point, Canva now has an option called Magic Write. Who's familiar with Magic Write? So great. There's also something called Chat GPT. So content no longer is going to be a problem for you guys. But when you go to Canva and you just type in the word lead magnet, it's going to give you a couple of pretty things if you're doing a digital lead magnet. But the content might already be there, depending on, and you're going to want to edit it a little bit. But look at this. Here's a workbook. Here's 5 ways to make passive income for female entrepreneurs. Holy Moses, everybody should be using that one. And sometimes they don't give you all 5 pages, right? They say it's 5 pages, but this one looks like it's actually, nope, it's not. See where it says Lorem and blah, blah, blah. You have to fill that in. In this ebook, you'll find out more information about our special finance system for female entrepreneurs. So you have to fill in the blanks, but look. Okay, I am not going to talk about crowdfunding options personally, but this girl is in her female entrepreneur book. I'm going to talk about different things like affiliate marketing, network marketing, creating your own thing, things I have experience with. And then at the end of her lead magnet, she offers them to sign up for the full course, right? So at the end of the lead magnet, you could be like, oh, want to know more? Join my group. Oh, you want to know more? Book a call with me. So these lead magnets might already be done for you on Canva because it's super awesome. A simple guide to something about plant-based proteins. Go personalize that. Isn't that cool? Self-care guide. So this should not, the creation of a lead magnet, you do not anymore have to pay somebody for a lead magnet. I mean, I paid $60 for my first one. It's way too easy now. You shouldn't be struggling to create it. You might be struggling to make sure the content makes sense to what you're selling. Now, we talked about Magic Write. So here, these are going to be templates. And this is really funny, by the way. Y'all can do this. So when I was doing this, do you see this lead magnet? And it says irresistible lead magnet essential checklist, 10 essential criteria for creating an irresistible lead magnet to grow your email list. I found this in Canva. I went and personalized it, and it's on your boards app. I said, I made a lead magnet on how to create lead magnets using this. Okay, so you want to personalize it, and I added my own tips to make it my own. So if you find something and you're like, oh, I can just fill in the blanks, great. If your brain is stuck, go to Canva Docs. And if you can open it within the lead magnet, I'm not sure. You might have to open a new document, but right here where it says doc. So you guys right now on the Building Blitz should be really thinking about a new lead magnet, how to refine your lead magnet. Now, here's what's cool. This is like a Google Doc, right? You can just type stuff, but see the little plus button right there? This might be not new to you guys. Click the plus button and then choose Magic Write, and then just tell it what you want it to tell you. So I'm going to say, give me 5 tips for cleaning my home without chemicals. And you might not like all the tips they give you, or you might be like, hey, that's great. Thank you. I will use all those. Sure, here are some tips for 5 ways to clean your home without chemicals. Use a microfiber cloth or mop. Mix equal parts of mop or blah, blah, blah. Baking soda, lemon. And so Anne, if she goes and makes this quick little thing on the front, then the back side, the second page of the lead magnet, or the email delivery might say, hey, thanks for grabbing my 5 tips, which they probably didn't even read the PDF. That just happened. By the way, and if I were you, Anne, I'd be like, by the way, do you want a chance to win my favorite microfiber cloth? Join my group. We do a monthly giveaway. I'd make the next step simple. Or are you curious about the products that I use that not only help me clean my home without chemicals, but I can also take the same cloth right from my buttered up window to my butt. I love Norwex cloths. I take it from like face to bottom to counter. I'm sure that's not a good idea, but I rinse them out between. So think about this, guys. Content for your lead magnet should not be the stopper. I literally don't even care if the content's very good in the lead magnet, because the truth is they do not read all of the lead magnet. It is just a way to get them to opt in and show, okay, here are people that have interest in chemical-free living. Here are people who have interest in intermittent fasting. When you build the lead magnet, that's step 2. Step 3 is how to get this in front of people, and then how to connect the dots over to what you really sell. Okay. And so after I go through step 3, I'll stop the action taker training and I'll go through this with the people on the Blitz. So after you've built it, okay, so remember I showed you the one that I had. I keep sharing the wrong tab for StreamYard. I'm sorry. After you have created it, whether it's a digital document, samples, then we actually have to create the automation. So I'm going to show you the end in sight about what you're doing. I'll do Rush just for fun. Let's pretend your lead magnet is a sample, okay, a sample. Then step 3 is I've got to put this lead magnet into a funnel, like an opt-in, some kind of automation, so that it's not just, great, I have a lead magnet sitting in my Canva, right? You want to get it in front of people. So I'll show you guys how to actually automate your lead magnet. And I did one with the Rush sample. I did one with the intermittent fasting guide. I did one actually with our breakthrough guide, which is from company. Like the company had already made the breakthrough guide. It's already created. I just made it as a lead magnet. I said, hey, who wants the guide that'll show you the 5 keys to blah, blah, blah? Who wants the workout plan? Who wants the tracker? I'm just like, here, opt in instead of just handing it over, right? And so we have to get it into an opt-in. Once we get it to an opt-in, now you've captured people. Now you've got to help them move forward from the initial opt-in to the exposure and to the sale. So I'm going to stop the share while that's slow loading, and because I'm not going to do the full automation on action takers, but because you guys have some of that and it's a little bit higher level, I'm going to tell you guys, first, I want to make sure everybody has a way to create an opt-in. So if you're inside of PCAT U Social CRM, you will go to funnels and you will use the generic opt-in landing page and you'll just personalize it, okay? If you are not wanting to use software, if that's like a mass learning curve, at least have a Facebook group where if Anne says, hey, who wants this? She's going to say, great, it's in my group. Join me here. I'll tag you. At least get them to opt in there, right? Everybody can have a Facebook group. Or they can fill out a simple Google form. They can fill out a Jot form. And I might say, well, I don't have the full CRM opt-in built out, but I can go make a quick Google form and save their email. And so she might be like, great, I'll send it to you. Fill out this form real quick and I'll get it over. If they don't want to put their name and email to get it, they probably don't care that much about it, right? If you say, oh, it's a big barrier to entry and you're not capturing them anyway, you're just giving away the info, that's not really helping you move people forward, right? So if you say at least join my group, my top of the funnel is at least my Facebook group, have really good membership questions. That will be key. Make sure you're capturing their email and membership questions. You're finding out their other areas of interest so you can move them fast, right? If you're opting them into email or texting, I will show you the little opt-in page you guys can make. Then the second page does still, for me, say, great, your guide's on the way. By the way, come join my Facebook group. I'm still getting them to my group because that's my key exposure. So when you're looking at where this is going, lead magnet just attracts colder market. You don't need to say to your mom, hey mom, like, will you go opt into my lead magnet so I can take you down the low and slow road to get you to expose to, no, you're like, mom, come to my party. Pay attention. Best friend, I've been listening. People on social media, if you see that they're saying something, you don't have to like go the long and slow approach to get them a lead magnet. You can say, oh my gosh, Anne, I saw you comment that blah, blah, blah. I have a company that does this, this, and this. Would that help you out? I'll invite you into the group or I'll send you an invite to the event. Don't be like lead magnet has to be the long approach. Lead magnet is for cold traffic. Okay, so it's most effective when you're building some trust. Okay, so Tanya Eliza is the first one I'm seeing do. I don't know her different than Adam, but guess who kept showing up in my inbox all the time? Tanya, the person I opted into. So now don't you think I know her better? She's one of the first names I think of when I think back in the day of network marketing and modern day marketing before it was modern, because she kept showing up in my inbox after I opted into her thing. So now Jean will keep being the one to stay in front of them. Right? So when they're ready, they can come forward. So with my lead magnet, my attraction is opt into something that makes sense to whatever I'm going to sell on the backside. What happens in the middle? You can keep emailing them. You can get them in your group, but you've got to get them ideally connected to what you're going to sell. So for me, if you opt into my protein bar recipe, right? And I used to do it all the time. I would put my boys on camera, just on personal profile. And ultimately, I wanted people in my Facebook group, but I'm trying to capture, people I'm not really close to on my Facebook. And then I'm being like, these are the 4 things that no bake protein bars. This will last me, 30 days, 1 bar a day, freezer, doesn't go bad. If you want the 4 ingredients and the full recipe, drop recipe below. I'll get it to you. Then I went and messaged, and that's how I built my Facebook group, right? Hey, I saw you did this. Then they come into the Facebook group, and you don't just be like, yay, here it is. I'll tag you in the recipe. You're like, great. I'll make sure you have the recipe. By the way, I'm live every Tuesday night and then connect the dots. I'll be showing other recipes. I'll be talking more about the specific protein that's in those bars. And I run a special every week. Can I send you an invite? It's right here in this group. So make sure you understand the long-term goal is not just here's a freebie. It's to keep in front of them. So keep emailing them or get them into your group and get them to an event or both. Okay. So think about how the lead magnet ultimately can connect to where you want them to go. Let's talk about where you're going to put this lead magnet, and then we'll cut the action takers and we'll start building your URL. If you can think of, and just simplify, 1 or 2 lead magnets that connect to your backside offer. Okay. And for me, it's still that intermittent fasting guide is a big one. And we're about to do parties again. You guys know what my top lead magnet for parties is? 1-page document, 8 simple steps to every party. When I made my party course, I just made a little document. It was 8 steps. They don't know what all those steps mean, right? So I'm like, step 1, do this. Step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5 steps. So I'm like, who wants my 8 simple steps to every party? That thing got downloaded like crazy. Then I'm like, oh, you want to know how to do these steps? You want to know what it means when I'm saying pre-party, live party, post-party? I'm doing a challenge. You want to come and learn how to implement these 8 steps. So the lead magnet, the capture, was 8 simple steps, but it didn't be like, here's the full program, right? Here's the whole shebang. And so it was a capture for people who didn't know me, didn't trust me, had no clue who I was. They're just like, tell me 8 simple steps. Then I became the party girl, right? But when I go on podcasts, Kimberly Olson's, I think that's what I offered. That was like my freebie, my 8 simple steps to every party. That's what I did with Jenny Bellinger. So that I'm like, don't change the system. Just keep going with that lead magnet for parties, right? And so if you guys find a couple key ones now, I'm going to talk about intermittent fasting. I'm going to talk about virtual parties everywhere. So now you can go do a reel, with, a simple step to improve your party sales. Now I'm going to go do a reel with how I, convert hostesses to consultants. Now I'm going to go do a reel with what IF looks like for me in a schedule that's worked. Now I'm going to go do a reel with whatever. And then the call to action is key. You just then get really good at call to actions, and it's always to your funnel. By the way, you want my guide on whatever. By the way, you want my recipe on whatever. LinkedIn bio, right? LinkedIn bio. Or you can tell them the opt-in page, but that's going to be a little harder. So comment below. I'll send it to you. That builds the algorithm. So I've been told eventually work up to 5 lead magnets. That way, like if you're with like Cynthia, today I'm doing the beauty box. This week, that's my campaign. Everything funnels to that lead magnet, right? Maybe next week she's focusing on the business side or her content creation lab. So if you have a couple of key lead magnets that ultimately attach to your backside sale, now all you're doing is essentially creating marketing that can market the lead magnet, which should 100% align with your interest, your lifestyle. So it's got to make sense. I'm not going to create a lead magnet on working out right now. Because if I have to do content for the lead magnet, I'm kind of still not working out very much. It's going to be hard to create content for that. That's like lifestyle, simple content. Does that make sense? So number 1, do your research with your audience. Make sure your magnet, your lead magnet front end offer makes sense as we move them through the funnel, right? To tie into the backside. Number 2, we create the lead magnet, which is pretty simple. And number 3, we automate the lead magnet, which means we're going to go put it into an opt-in page, right? pcatu.co/rush. I can post that everywhere. I can link it to my cover photo. I can send it to people when they comment on a reel or story. I can send it to people when they ask. I can drop it in the messenger. And the automation flow behind that is once they fill it out, it immediately goes to another page that invites them to the group. It immediately sends them a thank you email. It immediately puts them in whatever automations I have behind that. And for me, I also have my Facebook group automated with importing all their information, and it puts them into a funnel to move them forward there. So the automation side is don't just have a lead magnet, like get it in there where it moves them forward. Because guess what? Now Anna can do whatever she needs to do. Carla can be wherever she wants to be. Sarah Brown saying I haven't worked in 24 hours. If your lead magnet's out there working, you're working. Leslie Ladd figuring out how to do Pinterest. And she's got a bunch of pins that people find 10 years later, but it connects to her lead magnet, working. Me with all my YouTube videos that people find later, the biggest mistake I made, it didn't take them anywhere. It told them a bunch of things, but it didn't be like, so now grab the guide. Now join my list. Now get a sample. Now do the trial. Once it became a funnel, a lead magnet, call to action, people started showing up in our group. We're like, how'd you get here? Oh, I saw your video on YouTube. I opted in and got that thing. And then you invited me to the group. I'm like, oh, I did? Welcome. Okay, so action takers, I want you to focus on, do you have a lead magnet? Hi, Karen. There's Sarah Brown. She got the notification on YouTube. Awesome. Make sure you guys have a lead magnet. Go back and watch the previous parts of this because we did start early today. And then make sure you know how to use it. Okay, if you're in the CRM, we can help you more with building. If you are in the Blitz on the Zoom, we're going to start that next. Okay, bye, action takers. We'll see you next week. Make sure you work on your lead magnet this week. Cynthia Height is doing a content creation lab for you guys. So make sure you've seen that. That is happening next week as well. All right. Okay.